Hi and welcome to my channel again. Today I have yet another video about backpacks. It is based on actual questions that people ask, and today the question is, why would someone choose a frameless hiking pack over internal or external frame pack? So I published a post in my site which I wanted to keep as a reference when I see such questions. And I identified 7 possible reasons why people would want a frameless backpack. I wish to stress that typically backpacks with frame come with a hip belt. So when you discuss this topic, it's these two features are actually sometimes important to discuss, as you will realize here. So let me go through these 7 possible reasons that I identified to tell you what they mean. I have seen some people claiming that my uh, body shape is not suitable for a framed backpack design. This can be so. I remember my first external frame backpack, which was really unpleasant because it had a horizontal bar in the middle of the frame and it would hurt me whenever I bent forward. So it was really annoying. But I would warmly suggest to such people that they try some good uh, backpacks with frame. This can be external and internal. Nowadays, both of them are really comfortable. So uh, it cannot be really that body shape is not suitable for a framed backpack design. The second reason that I found is when you want to have your hips free for a wide range of movements, and then you don't want to have a frame which is typically with a hip belt. Remember what I mentioned, that these two features go together. And sometimes such frameless backpacks can have a very narrow, tiny hip belt, but it is in place only to prevent backpack from bouncing when you jump and make some movements of this type. It's not there to transfer the load, the weight to your hip belt. Another reason is when you use a climbing harness. As I said, framed backpack typically come with a massive hip belt, and then if you have a climbing harness with its own hip belt, you have a mess. It can be difficult to function, and this is why you might want to have a backpack without frame, and this will probably mean also without hip belt. But actually, you can buy a backpack which has a frame and it has a hip belt which is removable. I have such a backpack and you can see it here in my separate video. This is Mammoth Lithium 40. So this is a backpack with a really strong frame with excellent hip belt, massive, but I was using this backpack on my Ferrata tours. So the point here is that this hip belt is removable, and then of course it doesn't interfere with my climbing harness. So you see, uh, this reason that I found as a possible reason doesn't have really to be a good reason to use frameless hiking backpack. I mean, if you are without frame, then the weight is on your shoulders and it can be really unpleasant. Another reason is when you do not want to have a hip belt on your hiking pack. Whatever the reason is, I have seen people simply saying, I don't want to have it. Okay, you cannot discuss with this. Uh, there is nothing I can say about this. Another reason, when you carry a small day pack with not much weight. This is a good, I would say, reason why you wouldn't want to have a frame, because if this is a small backpack, then the weight is not substantial. You can carry it easily. You don't need a frame, and as I said again, to repeat, the frame typically comes with a hip belt, which adds weight. I mean, both frame and hip belt add weight, and you don't need it if this is a really small, light backpack for some fast day tours. Another reason is frameless hiking packs may be more affordable. This should be easy to understand. There is less material used, it's easier to make. Then the final reason, seventh, that I found as a possible reason is that frameless hiking packs may be lighter, again due to obvious reasons, less material. Frames are either some steel wire or aluminum stays or something like that. Then if you have a hip belt, this all adds weight, and if you don't need it, you don't want it, then of course you will go for a frameless backpack. Here are a few examples of frameless hiking backpacks. I already gave actually this one from Osprey, which is a very popular. It has been on the market for many years, reshaped a little bit in the past, but the basic design is always the same. Yet another is this from REI. It is Flash 22. So the weight of this backpack is only 400 grams. You see, there is no frame. It has actually a very light hip belt, but there is no padding here. It's good enough for this size. So the volume to weight ratio here is 55 liters per kilogram, which is quite high. Yet another very good example is this backpack from Mountain Smith. This is Zerk 40, and the weight is 822 grams. Really great backpack, great design. I like it. So here you would have volume to weight ratio almost 50 liters per kilogram. Then there are backpacks with a removable frame. So if you know that in some situations you don't need frame, this type is for you. These are very versatile backpacks that you can use for practically any type of tour. So one great example is this from Black Diamond. This is Beta Light UL 45 backpack. As you see, it's quite minimalist design, but this backpack has a removable frame. The weight with the frame is almost 900 grams, so it's very light backpack. But when you remove the frame and hip belt, which is also removable, you only have 521 grams. So this is ultra light indeed. And the volume to weight ratio in this case becomes 86 liters per kilogram, which is probably the maximum that you can expect. And yet another example is this Hyperlight mountain gear backpack. Again, beautiful design, and the frame here is again removable. So remember all these reasons that I mentioned. If you know that you will need a backpack without a frame, that would be one. It's not a small backpack, as you realize. So this is I think all I wanted to say here about this topic. There are disadvantages of this design, frameless backpacks, but this topic is not here. The focus of this post is not on this topic. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and give me a like if this is useful, and see you next time.